Hi everyone, I can't believe we're already to week 6. Just a heads up for this week, we are going to be finishing our brand identity that we started last week. And you also will notice that you have the mid-course evaluation here. So I'd really appreciate it if you could take some time and complete that for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on this week. So you're going to be building off of what you did last week for the draft. And I will be sure to check your grades probably by Wednesday, as I'm going to be giving you some feedback on your drafts, and you may want to implement some of the feedback into your final submission this week. So be sure to check that. I always try to do my best to give you good feedback quickly. So check that. So this week, we're going to be continuing on by creating images and branding our social media channels. So let's take a look at what's actually due this week. So by the first due date, which is Wednesday night, you need to turn in channel layout comps and a photography shot list. So let's start with what channel layout comps are. What you're going to do is you're going to figure out what your channels are that you're going to be branding. Now, the instructions will probably say that you're branding 3 channels. We have changed that this semester. You only need to pick 2 channels. So, for example, Facebook and Pinterest, or Twitter and Instagram. So pick 2 channels that you would like to create for your brand. And a channel layout comp is basically mocking up what you want it to look like. So for example, you might take a screenshot of a Facebook page, and then right here where it says the Olive Garden logo, you'd put in your logo there, and then you'd kind of decide kind of what you want your main header image to look like and things like that. And I know that, you know, for example, Facebook and most of these things, you don't get a lot of control on sizing, but it's important to size everything and plan ahead for each channel, because each channel requires different things and different sizes. So here's another example, West Elm for Pinterest. You know, you might just put your logo right there, but then you might want to consider what your boards would look like if you choose Pinterest. What type of images do you want for each board that you create? Here's Twitter. Something to keep in mind is they have their logo right here, but then they have this huge banner over here. How do they work together? Do they work well together? I've seen some other brands do a little bit better of a job where they give a little bit more spacing across that header image. So these are things that you need to consider. And also this Twitter photo is much larger than the rest of the channels that we've looked at so far. And here's Instagram for Home Depot. So they obviously just have their logo there, but they have it in a circle icon. And you know, there isn't a whole lot that you can do for Instagram, but you may need to consider what does it look like on a mobile device versus on the web, because most people use Instagram on their phones. So these are things that you'll need to decide what channels you're going to do, and you'll need to mock up what you want your channel layout to look like. Now, like I said, you can take a screenshot and then using Photoshop kind of like a rough draft, put together what you want yours to look like put your logo there and something that you might want to go here. Or if you'd prefer to sketch it, that's okay too. But let me clarify, it has to be a good sketch in that I want you to be specific. I don't just want like a box that says logo here. Kind of sketch out your logo and then kind of get the proportions correct. And for example, you could tell me, I want text to go right here, and I want a tree to go right here and a kid over here, because it's okay to have text on some of these images. So it's okay to sketch it out as long as you're thorough and as long as you're telling me exactly how you want your channel to look like. You're basically using the beginning part of this week to plan what your channel will look like. So that's the channel layout comp. The photography shot list is exactly what it says. You are going to create a list of the photos that you need to take. So I need to be clear here, and I've mentioned this at the beginning of the semester, but I'm going to repeat it. Anything that you do this semester needs to be original work to this semester. So you can't choose a photo that you've already taken 2 or 3 years ago when you went on a fancy trip to Italy. That will not work. It sounds cool, but we need to be thoughtful and planning and create work that will go in line with your branding that you've already come up with, your plan and your style guide. You can't just go work backwards and just try to use what you already have. So you actually need to create a shot list, and with, you know, keeping in mind that everything has to be original, because later this week you're going to actually take the pictures. So, you know, for example, for the Olive Garden, a lot of their photos or things here, they have a lot of videos, but you know, they said, oh, I want to show plated food with asparagus and shrimp, or I want to show a dessert with great angles, or I want to show our takeout menu. So, you know, be specific about what kind of photos you want to take. Let's see if Wendy's, oh, I really want to show two people having a date together, enjoying the summer, each of them holding a burger with their, actually, it looks like this is their 4 for 4, which is sad that I know, their burger with their chicken nuggets, their fries, and their drinks. Or this one says, I want to show the fresh ingredients and label each ingredient and tell about why it's healthy for this salad. So be specific about what kinds of images you are going to take and how you're going to edit them. So that is what's due for the first due date. The channel layout comps, which is basically mocking up what you want your channels to look like, either by taking screenshots and photoshopping it to be a mock-up, or sketching it but being very thorough, and your shot list of what kind of images you want to take. And then you're going to post that to Facebook and make sure that you comment to classmates, give them some feedback or some critique. I think you guys all did a really great job last week of being kind to each other and giving each other some ideas. So keep up the great work there. And so you'll see, let me backtrack. You'll see that this week you're submitting everything that you did last week, plus the channel layout comps and the photography shot list. And then here are the newer items that will be due by the second due date. So the 3 comments expanded. And then you actually need to take the images that you are going to use and include them in the PDF. So the final images that you're going to use in your channel branding. And then the screenshots of your actual channel that you've created. So you need to use those images and create your channel. You may create more images than you actually use for these screenshots, and you can save those images for future posts next week. Remember, going forward, whatever you've decided in your IPI plan of how often you want to post is what you're going to be doing. And I expect it to be around at least 3 times a week to get enough followers for you to be able to evaluate yourself at the end of the semester. So, you know, go ahead and make a big photography shot list. And if you have time, make several images that you can use as future posts for this next week. So that is what's due. It's not as much as last week. So it'll give you plenty of time to think and really be thoughtful about your brand and your plan that you created last week, and get going on building those channels. So if you have any questions, please let me know along the way. Also, I recommend, you know, listening to this again one more time, this video, to get started this week, because it provides more in-depth information about what I've just gone over. So anyway, I hope you guys have fun branding your channels. I can't wait to see the final results of everything, and good luck.